Greetings, everyone. It's good to see you all. Thank you so much for coming back to join me. This live is pretty much where we're going to discuss a few things as far as like topics, and then we're going to do a listening party. So you'll do a listening with me right after. First and foremost, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. All right, so let's go ahead and get into our first topic. Now, this is going to be, let's go ahead and get into it. Florida attorney serves up justice with a dinner plate after allegedly smashing it on a man's head over buffet line cutting at a wedding reception. Shout out to our friends over at It's On Site. Um, Mark Roher, who would who has worked as a commercial. Give me 1 second. Mark Roher, who has worked as a commercial litigation and bankruptcy lawyer, was a guest at a wedding party on January the 18th. During the ongoing party, Roher, like everyone else, maintained a queue for the buffet prime rib. It says witnesses say that two girls had tried to play smart by jumping the lines, and the lawyer did not find it funny. The 50 The 52-year-old legal practitioner complained to one of the girls' dads named Saeed Raza, but it all fell on deaf ears. Miami New Times reported that Roher proceeded to smash a plate on Raza's head. Consequently, this invited a scuffle among the wedding guests. Police who arrived on the scene also noted that Raza sustained a minor bump on his head. Despite leading Roher away in handcuffs, the lawyer protested his arrest. Instead, he informed the officers that he was the victim. The lawyer insisted on pressing charges against the alleged victim. According to him, a handful of individuals beat him up, including Raza, who kept on kicking him. The alleged assailant added that he had been bruised all over his body amid the assertions of the lawyer. He claimed that he never hit the victim with a plate. However, stating that he was the initiator of the chaos, Rower has been now charged with aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. The broken plate. If found guilty, he could lose his license to practice and would spend up to 5 years behind bars. As for now, Rower and his wife has have lost their country club membership for a year. Oh, child. Now get into this. His son looks like a whole thumbprint. Oh, child. These folks literally catch a charge about anything nowadays. I believe everything they said. He doesn't look like he needs more food. He was hungry. He was hangry. He would do it again. No self-control. Laughing my aunt off. He must didn't eat all day. Someone says, God damn, he wasn't playing. So you're about to lose everything you work hard for because you mad some little girls got in front of you to get some prime rib. You know, he sent folks to jail on purpose. Ooh, child. Okay. So listen here, let's get up out of that. Okay. Let's see. Oh, let's see. It says it ain't hard to find woman with warrant out for her arrest. Taunts sheriff's office on social media. They said, do you have information on the whereabouts of Quanteria Richardson? You might know her by one of her other names. If so, please contact investigator Elmeda at 352-538-7295 or call Crime Stoppers at 352-372-STOP. She replies, shit, I ain't hard to find. Do your job. Someone else says, hey, so the county sheriff's office says, hey, Eliza, low key, you ate that. Lucky for you, we are used to those who play hard to get. Real talk, be our Valentine. Slide into our DMs and we will pick you up in a custom green and white whip. We have jewelry that will fit your wrist perfectly, and we have already reserved the best bed and breakfast in town. See you soon. You know what? I'm not about to get into these antics with these people, but let's go ahead and read these comments, child, if anybody left any. Authorities respond by letting her know they would pick her up for Valentine's Day. Okay, so nobody commented, child. That was a yeah. Let's see. Okay, let's get into this. It says Rep Jasmine Crockett. Okay, let's see. Let's open it up. It says Rep Jasmine Crockett, people said that they were upset about TikTok, but I'm upset about the guy who runs Twitter. He sat there in the yesterday and he admitted that he was lying and he was using this propaganda machine to do it. When he said that we sent millions of dollars to Gaza for condoms, that was a lie. Okay, so let's get up into it. Let's see what she's saying.
Because for whatever reason, we had a guy that went in, and you talk about people invading our data. Listen, people said that they were upset about TikTok, but I'm upset about the guy that runs Twitter, who for sure is doing nefarious things, because I don't understand, if you are trying to conduct audits and figure out where the waste, fraud, and abuse is, I don't know why you would go to some tech guy. In fact, it was only techies that were sitting there at inauguration. We didn't have auditors. I would welcome auditors to come in and do forensic audits. In fact, he sat there in the Oval Office yesterday and he admitted that he was lying and he was using his propaganda machine to do it when he said that we sent millions of dollars to Gaza for condoms. That was a lie. So let me tell you something.
The gentle lady's time has expired.
It's time for
the
us
gentle
to
lady's
do our
time has
job
expired.
and rein in this rogue actor known
The gentle
as
lady's
Elon
time
Musk.
has expired. I
Now, because for whatever reason, we had a guy that went in, and you talk about people invading.
All right, let's get into this. The comment says, protect Jasmine at all costs. We got to protect this woman. MTG was too busy using campaign money to buy an expensive vehicle. Mrs. Jasmine Crockett, you are our only hope. Thank you. Why aren't professional auditors doing this? I've been asking this for days. The same propaganda machine that funds that stole the election. He's bold and clumsy. So that's what they are saying. Let's get into it. All right, let's get into it. Happy Black History Month. Do we say we recently shared a post about Nat Turner and how he was eaten after his execution. Many people had questions and accusing information of being fabricated. Please read The Delectable Negro. Okay. Delectable Negro draws on works progress, administration interviews, advertisements for runaway slaves, and slave narratives. The book includes textual analysis of the works of Harriet Jacobs and Frederick Douglass, as well as examination of the treatment of Nat Turner, whose flesh was turned into medicinal grease. Oh my goodness. The Delectable Negro, Human Consumption and Homoeroticism Within U.S. Slave Culture by Vincent Woodward. is a credible and well-researched book. It is published by New York University Press as a respected academic publisher and has been widely cited in African American studies, history, and cultural studies. All right, let's see what the comments are saying on this one. All right, someone says, I started the book and have had a hard time literally stomaching what our ancestors endured, but I'm gonna read it because I am learning and unlearning a lot. This info was in the books and the end of the biopic. That info is true, and I learned that a long time ago. Bestiality, cannibalism, bug breaking, the list goes on and on. Each one teach one. They definitely ate him. I know they did some crazy thing, but I also never heard about anybody eating him. So I just took it with a grain of salt as well. This hit because today I watched Nickel Boys. I wonder what that is, Nickel Boys. So listen here, I want to take us on. Did you all know about that? I did not know about that, that they would be eating people. Okay, so let's go ahead. Okay, so we read that one. All right, let's see if something else is in here that grabs our.
For thousands of Metro Atlantans are finding out they are no longer eligible for food stamps. The change affects Cobb, Gwinnett, and Hall counties. Chelsea Sophia Choi is live in Cobb County, and so.
Maybe they took away the food stamps. Oh my goodness. So we can go ahead and follow them. Child, they took away these people's food stamps. Get into it.
For thousands of Metro Atlantans are finding out they are no longer eligible for food stamps. The change affects Cobb, Gwinnett, and Hall counties. Chelsea Sophia Choi is live in Cobb County. And Sophia, this involves able-bodied adults who are now required to go to work.
Able-bodied adults who have no dependents. Now, this is where people can come to enroll in the food stamps program with the Department of Family and Children's Services in Cobb County. And about 3,000 Cobb County residents who get those benefits are now under new requirements. We met Kiara Thomas applying for food stamps at the Cobb County DFACS office. She's got a child, but says those who don't have dependents still need help.
I mean, not everybody can work, and it's not that easy to find a job nowadays.
About 6,000 food stamp recipients in Metro Atlanta are now required to find work or get into a job training program after getting the benefit for 3 months. Those affected are adults who have no dependents at home.
All right, let's get into the comments. We got some emojis down there. Someone says, pay attention. I don't get them at all. I wish I did. Someone says, so this video from 2016, why post it now? You all voted for him. Good for you all. This is old, but they need to work. Get a job. We all know the vulnerables in our community. They will be protected 5 generations of Section 8 is embarrassing. When your hair and nails stay done, selling your stamps, and you're able to work, but just don't want to. Baby, it's this one right here for me. So that was
Sophia, this involves.
Y'all, did y'all hear? Oh my God. Okay, so y'all get up into this because I didn't hear about this story. Trigger warning. Let's get up into this right quick. Let's see what's going on. Shout out to Call Me Ish. Mother pushed her 3-year-old son on swing for 2 days straight. He was found stiff by police while she still pushed him in a swing. Rashima Sims, the Maryland mother found pushing her unalived child on a swing in La Plata back in 2016, was able to remain free and continue receiving mental health treatment instead of going to prison. Oh my goodness. Y'all get into this.
Y'all, did y'all hear about that story about that lady? She had a
Hey, Norris,
3-year-old
how are you,
son,
honey?
and her boyfriend was going back and forth custody because she was showing signs of, and the judge still granted her custody and him custody. Let her get her for a week and him get her for a week. Then one day she went to a park and was pushing the little boy. She pushed that little boy for 2 days straight. 2 whole days straight. She pushed that little boy. And on the second day, a man, he said he saw her the day before out there in the same position, same place, same everything, pushing the little boy. So he called the laws and they went out there and found her pushing the little boy, and he was stiff. Rigor mortis set in. He was no longer alive. And she was just pushing him. And when they asked her what she was doing, she said that the spirits in her head, the voice in her head told her to push him. Do not stop, because if she do, something bad's going to happen. The police them locked her up. She was indicted, went to court and everything. They let her out for the insanity shit. And yeah, so she out. She out. I hope she's staying on her meds. But what y'all think about that? Because I kind of think that they should put her in a special little place, because she shouldn't be just outside walking around with all us people.
All right, I'll get into this. So the comment says, did she go to Pakistan to marry a 19-year-old last week? Put her in a special place. The judges do not care about the greater good for society at large. Wow, someone says 3 days straight, and I'm sure there were other people around. Why don't people say anything? Who cares if it's not their kid? That part. So did she ever use the bathroom? I feel bad for the dad because this could have been avoided. Prayers. How does someone stand for 2 days straight and push a swing with a deceased baby? How? So nobody saw her for 2 days, even at night? Huh? Yes, definitely not making sense to me. Whew. That's a lot. That's scary. I mean, you're sitting right there and you're pushing a corpse for 2 days. Sad. Thank you for the Americans are parasites. Shout out to our friends over at It's on Site. Was that Baller Alert? Okay, Baller Alert. Elon Musk reposting his meme laughing at federal program cuts and referring to Americans as parasites come across as tone deaf. As one of the world's richest individuals born into wealth, he is far removed from the financial realities most Americans face. The vast majority of Americans do not support this. Watching Trump/federal programs, knowing it doesn't affect you because you're not a member of the parasite class. Why 90% of America loves DOG. Elon Musk meme suggests that only the so-called parasites class benefits from federal programs, but in reality, millions of everyday Americans across all income levels rely on government programs, including ones Musk himself has benefited from. Here are just a few major federal programs that support American workers, families, and businesses. Social Security and Medicare. Social Security provides retirement income for over 66 million Americans. Medicare offers health care to over 65 million seniors and disabled individuals. Federal student loan and grants. Programs like Pell Grants and federal student loans help millions afford college. Tax credits and subsidies. I'm at the Child Tax Credit and Earned Income Tax Credit, EITC, help working families. First-time homebuyer credits make home ownership more accessible. Federal infrastructure and disaster relief. Highways, bridges, public transit, and airports are funded by government federal programs. FEMA provides relief after natural disasters. Healthcare and food assistance. Medicaid covers low-income families, pregnant women, and children. SNAP food stamps helps feed over 41 million Americans. Ironically, Musk-owned companies have benefited from billions in federal loans, contracts, and tax incentives, just like many industries and individuals across the country. Federal programs aren't just for a parasite class, they're the foundation that supports millions of hardworking Americans. Multiple federal programs that the parasite Elon Musk has benefited from. Elon Musk and his companies, Tesla, SpaceX, Solar City, and now part of Tesla, the Boring Company, and Neuralink, have benefited from several U.S. federal programs, including grants, tax breaks, government contracts, and loans. Here are some key examples. Government loans and bailouts. Tesla's $465 million loan 2009 to Department of Energy DOE provided Tesla with a $465 million loan under the Advanced Technology Vehicles Manufacturing ATVM loan program. Tesla used this funding to develop the Model S and expand production. The company repaid the loan in 2013 with interest. Government loans and bailouts, tax credits and subsidies, electric vehicle tax credits. Tesla buyers benefited from a $7,500 federal tax credit for purchasing electric vehicles, EVs. This incentive helped Tesla grow its customer base, though Tesla exceeded the program's cap in 2018, making its cars no longer eligible for federal EV tax credits until the new EV tax incentives from the Inflation Reduction Act. State and local subsidies. Tesla and SolarCity have received hundreds of millions in state and local tax incentives, including Nevada's $1.3 billion tax break 2014 for building the Tesla Gigafactory, New York's $750 million investment for a SolarCity factory in Buffalo. SpaceX government contracts. SpaceX has received billions in NASA and Department of Defense (DoD) contracts, including $2.6 billion NASA contract 2014 under the Commercial Crew Program, helping develop spacecraft to transport astronauts to the ISS. $3 billion Artemis contract 2021 to develop the Starship lunar lander for NASA's Artemis program. Military launch contracts. SpaceX has secured multiple contracts with the U.S. Air Force and Space Force for satellite launches. Renewable energy and infrastructure support. SolarCity subsidies City before merging with Tesla. Receive federal solar incentives, including investment tax credits, ITC, that cover 30% of solar installation cost, EV charging infrastructure grants. Tesla has received federal and state funding to build EV charging stations across the country. Research and development grants. Musk companies have benefited from federal R&D grants for electric vehicles, space exploration, and renewable energy technologies. While Musk often presents himself as an independent entrepreneur, his businesses has leveraged significant government support, similar to other major U.S. corporations and the tech, automotive, and aerospace industries.
Elon Musk, once again, brother, I'm smart enough to tell you no to your face, and I'm evil enough to be able to expose you as a running dog for the greatest enemy this nation's ever had. You're a war profiteer. You're sleeping with the enemy, brother, and you've been doing it because you're not an American nationalist. You're not even an American. All you are is a globalist, okay? A globalist. Elon Musk, once again, brother, I'm smart enough to tell you no to your face, and I'm evil enough to be able to expose you as a running dog for the greatest enemy this nation's ever had. You're a war profiteer. You're sleeping with the enemy, brother, and you've been doing it because you're not an American nationalist. You're not even an American.
All right, so we had to play that twice. Now get into this. That last slide, woo, that's what I'm saying. Listen here. Shout out to our friends over at Baller Alert. Woo, send him back to his country. And y'all will still drive a Tesla. Who grew his company with the help of the taxpayers, but a person trying to keep his head above water is a parasite? I just want to know, where are the Trumpers? I want to know their thoughts. I don't want to harass them. I genuinely want to know how they feel right about now. Where's Luigi when we need him? When the government was created to regulate and help the people, just being openly hateful and allowed in the Oval Office is crazy work. I'm disgusted. I'm just saying. The French would stand for some ish like this. A non-American born find a way to become president of America by using an American puppet. You're about to lose all credibility. When will ICE be picking him up? Okay. Listen. Get him out of here. Now I would like to share some more stories with you all. Right quick, please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I do want to zip it over to Vagina Power. Shout out to Alexis K. Tyler. I'm going to be dropping her link in the chat so you guys can go over and check her channel out. But we're going to be listening to V Power, Reclaim Your Wounded Inner Child. There was a Leo full moon. Okay. So without further ado, let me go ahead and just open this up for us. Okay. Are y'all still here with me? Are y'all here with me? Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I know I already said that, but please help a sister out. All right, here we go.
I can't really look away and focus. I'm gonna have to look at the chat. So that if it disconnects me, I have to press reconnect. But God, I'm gonna try to just kind of wrap this up, but I'm gonna get back into it later because it's what I've been working on within myself, especially dealing with my body just being so exhausted. And I know this really started getting worse after my birthday in November. I started to really decline with how much bullshit I could take. And I decided I wasn't taking anymore and going through a heavy transformation, and it just took a toll on my body. So I allowed myself to go through it because that was what I really, really wanted. These negative relationships and negative circumstances, the only people that were coming to me were not good people with love and intentions and boss bitches. It was people that want to start drama, hurt me, pretend to be my friend, to use me, to take advantage of me. And that cycle had to start. And where did I start? With my own mother. And that's what I was explaining, because I know that you all have expressed it to me. And some of you have been comfortable enough, to express it in the comments. A lot of you have a lot of pain, a lot of heartache and heartbreak from your own mother breaking your heart and letting men screw you and prostitute you, and literally a birth mother, a karmic bitch that from the time you were born try to destroy your whole fucking life, and your whole family on her side joined in the shit. There's nothing more painful than that. And sometimes it never ends. You will get older, people will die that told the lies, and people in your family will still want to believe the lies and keep the shit going, and it doesn't get better. It gets worse. There are other family members that will continue that shit. And only thing you can do is decide to be a doormat and be around them, hoping that they love you one day, and they ain't. Because I wouldn't want people to fucking be my friend and love me that could hate me all them years based on lies anyway, without being grown, responsible, mature adults to say, well, do you have any evidence of it? A lot of bitches like drama and trauma because they jealous of little kids and will put curses and black magic spells on little fucking kids and continue that shit so you can still be in it, hoping one day they wake up, your mother wake up, you can buy her love and her fucking attention, and she treats you like shit, and she only talks to you when you're doing something for licking her ass because she knows you're not grown. You're in a grown body, handling grown folk shit, fucking sucking, got kids, working and pay your own bills. But when it comes to her, you're still a wounded little girl that's hoping one day she'll approve of you and love you and tell you that you're good enough to be in this world and you have a right to be here. And it's never going to change because you won't take your power. You won't stand in vagina power. Alexis K. Tyler, vagina power. I talk about things that I know, not that I heard, not that I went to school and sat down and got the theory to understand the psychology of it in a book and the mechanics in a book, step by step of how a mother does this and why she does this. Because it doesn't matter to me. I've been to therapists, I've been to psychologists and psychiatrists and all this shit, and they still cannot. There's certain things they're not allowed to say to you. They can only listen to you. But now we have better counselors and therapists that are integrated, that have more leeway, that can help you more. I think. I don't know. I ain't been the one lately. Y'all have to tell me. I know they're going to give you drugs. And now my approach on that has changed. My opinion on that has changed. Because when you've been hurt so bad and you have to go in and deal with those feelings to shift that thought and that energy, Because you keep recreating the pain, which you don't realize goes into the subconscious. It's in the subconscious, is trapped there. The wounded part of you is trapped there. So your mind doesn't know the difference, baby. It doesn't know right or wrong. It doesn't know 2025 when you're a fucking adult from 1972. It doesn't know. It only know what you tell it. So if you keep on going through this through the law of attraction, your mind says, okay, so that's what niggas do to her. That's what her mama started off and kicked it off. And that's what we're going to keep getting her in 25. So you'll wonder, why has it been bitches just like your mama dressed up, karmics? Why is it niggas that's just like the niggas that she put on you to fucking rape you when you was a goddamn baby, when you couldn't even assent to nothing sexual? Because she's done this to you and had power over you, but you don't understand through vagina power and spiritual sexuality and not knowing the laws of attraction. Instead of thinking grow rich, now you don't realize you're not completely the victim. Now you are the sex goddess, goddammit. You have the power to now control your reality and your world, and you don't realize that you are controlling and that you continue to manifest what this bitch set in motion. You understand? I don't think y'all ready for this here. Maybe that's why they keep cutting me off. Y'all ain't ready for this goddamn shit. You don't see, I lived it. So every day I psychoanalyze my own fucking self, and I don't make excuses and live as a victim and fuck people over. Well, I hurt people. No, I've been hurt, and I don't go around hurting people intentionally. I was opening myself up for people to hurt me, and that's over. So these things that I'm telling you, I know, and nobody can prove that I don't. And that wasn't my life. That's my old life. That's the first part of my life, how I came into this motherfucker again, reincarnated into this motherfucker. And what I've chosen to learn from it, instead of spending my life being depressed and angry and holding on and, keep replaying this shit and being a goddamn victim. Who wants to be a victim? Who wants karmic motherfuckers constantly circulating and recirculating and reanimating and shit in and out your goddamn life? You got to break them curses. And a lot of adults don't care anything about doing that to a child that they're jealous of, that they've already done readings on that child. When that child slips out of their mama ass, they done got to read, they done did their whole astrology chart. My mother did that to all of her children so she could know where to attack them. Because that's what she would say to me. So she knew your strength and your weakness is, what your destiny, and do they could to destiny swap and try to fucking stop you. And it will happen sometimes the whole first part of your life, where it's like your life was just wasted and the time was just wasted, but the things were so catastrophic in your life that you could not motherfucking control, because she got to everybody and got to weak motherfuckers you thought was strong was weak than a motherfucking believe shit without any evidence of it or any proof or any written documentation of it, and you were left alone scrambling in the goddamn wilderness trying to figure out how the fuck you gonna survive. And your mother is loving every moment and think it's funny because the bitch set the blueprint up for the shit. See, this is for you all. Because that's all I know. And I've learned to shift that paradigm by shifting the memory and shifting the energy. Because I know the power of your mind. And I know the power of my mind. And you'll keep getting what you don't want because you don't realize you're really not the victim. Now that one experience, yes, it lasts forever, doesn't it? And you'll think you're the victim. Saying, knew you were getting abused and did nothing. Well, baby, LG, that's powerful what you just said, baby, because in the doing nothing, they still doing something. When you make a decision to do nothing, baby, you still made a decision to do something. And what I'm trying to get you to understand is, like I understood, now it took a long time. It was painful because all these grown people watched it and other women who had also been raped and molested in my family. And my mother said, well, everything that happened to me, I wanted to make sure it happened to you. See, now we're all even. That's something I would never do to my child. And I never did it to my child. You have to, well, you don't have to, but if you want to be more powerful than the people that did this to you to break you when you were a baby, and you want to be everything that they said you were not, and you want to see them die first, a person like that needs to die and needs to pay for what they've done. It might seem like they're getting away with it at first, but baby, you're not going to leave this planet and have good luck for what you do to your children and what you watch being done to other children. Even if they're not yours, you're an adult, you're supposed to be an overseer. You're supposed to have enough integrity. You don't have to love them, but you have enough honor and integrity to step in and say, you can't do that, at least not around me. And I'm going to file a report against you. No, so you have to understand these people were also in previous lifetimes with you. They were karmics in your life, and they are doing in the decision to do nothing, which is still a decision, baby. They are continuing to do what they've done to you before that you do not consciously remember. See, that's why it's so important to meditate every day, to journal every day, to, if you got to go get a therapist, I suggest you go get one, because the type of trauma I've been through and a lot of the trauma that you all have been through, you will need one. I just never found one that, because I know there are limits on what they can say and what they can do. And it doesn't matter what they say, even with a life coach. When you're dealing with a life coach, you still have to go home and do your own work by yourself. They can't give you a pacifier, hold your hand. They got lives, children, husband, wives, and things go on. So there are things it's not their responsibility to fix you and heal you. It's your responsibility to do it. And I think that's why sometimes people need the meds. Anti-anxiety meds stop you from being paranoid and being stuck in the trauma, and the memory keep replaying over and over and over because you don't realize you have power and you don't realize how much that's destroying your future. Every time you think about your past and you see that, and in your present, you see that, you don't really understand that when you see that, you are projecting that into 2025 and beyond, because that's all you are telling the universe that you're good for and that you know, and you are focusing on anything that you focus on, the universe will manifest and give it to you. You don't realize who you are, and that's why your mother does it and let other grown people join in, so you won't know, so you will never be bigger and greater than her. But I do know I'm already bigger than greater than her. But I acknowledge her good points too. She was strong, she was attractive, she was charming, she was charismatic, a dirty ass Virgo. Most Virgos are. Very intelligent, very observant, very sneaky, will smile in your face, duplicitous bitches, and go behind your back while they smile in your face to get close to you so that you trust them and turn your back for them to go through your shit in your house, sneaky, get your shit, set you up, turn your man or your woman or your kids against you, and spy on you and hack you and document shit behind your back. That's and plot. That's how Virgos think. I look, let me tell you. Whew, my son is a goddamn Virgo. My birth mother is a goddamn Virgo. Several other people that I know that I had the fortune and the misfortune of being so-called friends with, female Virgos, I have been around, and they're all the same. Them motherfuckers, different sexes and different ages, but they all are the goddamn same when they on their dark side. You don't really want to fuck with now one of them, because, and they always want to be better than you, shine you. They don't want you to have what they have. If you will know, on top of that, you dealing with a Virgo that's a narcissist, a psychopath, or a fucking sociopath that want to be your friend, but will get close to you because they really not your friend. If you're just as talented as them or more talented than them, and you have no book educational degrees and they got it, they can't take that shit. They can't take that shit that you are more gifted than them, but they got a degree and you don't. My mother was the same way towards me. She went to theological seminary when I was like 8 or 9. She was gone for months, even a couple of years. We wouldn't fucking see her, along with whatever else she was doing and other network she was doing. And she could not take it that I was more gifted than her. The rage from that. Many times you're little kids and you're getting raged on and assaulted by your own mother or your own father, even getting raped, or they will open you up for somebody to do that shit to you, because they know who you are. You don't know, you're a baby. You're innocent and doing black magic on you and really thinking and trying to soul swap and steal your destiny and steer you in a path for failure and sabotage. Man, goddamn. See, trying to tell you. You said my male brother a Virgo, and I always did, no matter what I could. I feel like we didn't get along because they jealous of you. See, you got to see what it is that provokes them to do that, because they're dangerous. And it doesn't matter how nice you are. If they perceive you as dangerous, if they perceive you as, when you go out, you get more attention than them. You get more, you got more gifts than them. You got shit. You know, these motherfuckers is so petty like that. If you, let's say you got some ragla ass furniture and shit, they're going to like that. Especially if you go to their house and everything is brand new and everything's immaculate and shit. Then you come up, you get some new furniture. I know I've had my own mother do that. They get so angry about that. Oh, this bitch done got some money, or somebody done came around her and helped her. Now she can't really hang with me no more because we on the same level. See, Virgos usually, I'm not saying all of them, I'm saying the dark side of them. They don't want no female close to them that's doing better than them or that's on the same level as them. If they secretly jealous of you and intimidated by you, they want to keep you down. in their mind. See, they have Virgos is they real fucking psychotic, like mental ill like that, man. They'll tell themselves they better than anybody and everybody. But what they're gonna do is they not finna be around a bitch that's better than them or better looking than them or got so much to offer or better nigga than them. They're gonna get around a bitch that's wounded, that's weak, that got deficiency, that lick out of their ass. Look, man, I know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying all of them. I said the ones that's sick in the goddamn head, that's twisted, which shows a deep level of insecurity with the it's other signs that's like that. I'm just saying I've had the misfortune of running across them. Plus one of them gave birth to me. I've seen how sick this motherfucking bitch is and laugh and talk in her church member's face because she was over a church and they love her and would do anything for her. And she smiling at them. Then as soon as we riding home with her husband, who was her motherfucking assistant pastor, and she talking about these motherfuckers like a dog. And it's usually a female in her church that's got something going on better than her. On the same level, a lot of women can't take that motherfucking shit. And a lot of niggas can't take that shit. And their whole shit. You saying a blessing, Blanca? Oh, so Chris, you see what I'm saying, Christina? You see, my dad is a Virgo, my sister's a Virgo, my mom. Oh, hell. So you got to triad the motherfucker. So my mom to me was the same. Dad and sis, like two sides of the same coin, boiling tempers. Yeah, babe, but you need to analyze that, because why was your mother the same, but still married to your daddy, and then she done bonded with the goddamn daddy? See, you don't, maybe it's something about your mama you don't know, goddamn it, or you not motherfucking seeing, because she seemed like she trying to come off as a light side Virgo, but she didn't check your daddy, and she didn't check your sister, and she still was fucking him. See, that's all I'm saying. Maybe she's kind of duplicitous in this shit and you don't want to see it. You said, Divine Drip, that makes so much sense now. I have a friend that left me alone once she came to my house. Girl, my mama was like this. I ain't had no furniture when I got here with this nigga, almost 20 years ago. And she was okay with that. Soon as I found a way to get me some, get some credit, the bitch comes over here. I want to see it all. And the bitch was fat as hell with bad knees. Goddamn it, like you see in the old show. She was up there on there with me. She walked her fat ass all around my house and and the first person I made sure that I got myself, I got my son a bedroom suit. I still got it, looked brand new, took care of, how my grandmama would when I was growing up, keep stuff, and it looked like it's new. And she got home, the bitch called me on the phone. I think I had one of her house, so she was so upset. And this kind of bitch was like, you can't sit. Her own children now. We go in her room to talk to her. We had to stand up and talk to her in her bedroom because I was a stupid bitch at the time, still trying to get along with her. And then my grandma and Jesus said, and you got, you love her, you don't hate her, God gonna fix it. God never fixed it until I stood up and motherfucking fixed it for myself and protected my one little girl and protected myself, stop letting that bitch get close to me and fucking hurt me, because I realized this bitch is a sick ass clown ass bitch, and it ain't gonna never motherfucking change. The bitch ain't no motherfucking good, and that's the way it is. And you don't see me, you don't feel no rage in my voice and all that. I mean, it just is what it is. She's just a dirty bitch. She's just a cocksucking ass bitch, and that's just the way it is. I mean, you have to accept the cards you was dealt, bitch. I mean, it is what the fuck it is. And if you want to still live in Disney World, goddamn it, and skip around like you Snow White, bitch, and La La Land, goddamn it, or maybe your ass is Cinderella and how they beat your ass and shit. Maybe you need to be beat up a little more before you really accept the reality and the principalities of the goddamn shit, bitch. It's not always no principle, it's the principality that's the motherfucking shit. Because this principality's dead up in this motherfucking shit. And that's the way it was meant to be. It's like that, and that's the way it is. Huh. See, you got me. She was so upset about the shit. She was like, I think I'm going to get rid of my furniture and I'm going to buy whole new furniture and redo all my bedrooms because you got furniture and yours can't look better than mine. I didn't say anything. I'm like, my own mother claims she ain't jealous of me, but sitting here saying she was sick. She was literally in a depression because of that shit. So you moved 2 months ago, slept on the floor. That's right, baby. And more than half now you got some new furniture. That sometimes, baby, it's good to do things yourself. If you ain't got nobody that really love you and support you, that's helping you bad, do it yourself. And if you got dirty family members and shit like that, don't let them in your house. Keep them out your business, because every time I let her in my house and something good happened to me, 5 or 10 things bad would happen, and she would get off on the shit like the shit making her come with her stinking ass. See, now I'm more of a grown woman inside. And one thing that I'm gonna do with myself, and I don't need nobody to fucking do that for me or tell me I'm delusional and shit. One thing I'm doing myself is keep it real, goddammit. I don't even play no games with my motherfucking self. Like I don't play no games with no motherfucking body else. And they not around me and they don't fucking talk to me. And I don't make no effort to motherfucking talk to them. Because I know if you did that shit when I was a little bitty baby, then and you still like that, when I seen you in 2016, that's the last time I seen the bitch, she was still gonna continue to do that shit. What you say, black sheep, that is so true. My ancestors said, I'm on holy ground. Don't allow anybody come to your house. Yep. And that includes who you really don't want to put out, because a lot of people be hoping that they're going to come around. That's your mammy. Because that's the only good thing that she could do, was give birth to you. That's the only good thing that she could do. And you got to find the good things in who you are, what you are, and why you here, and what you came to do, how you came to do that shit, and get that shit done. Because if not, you'll spend your whole life and die with a lot of unmanifested dreams that you agreed to God and your ancestors that you was going to fulfill. And that bitch know it. And she'll do anything and do anybody, fuck your baby daddy, fuck your boyfriend, anybody to sabotage you, and then tell him, you better not tell, you still going to be with that bitch, and you going to fuck that bitch, and you going to drop this around the house, and you going to set this bitch up for me, or I'll tell her that I fucked you when y'all was in motherfucking 11th grade. She going to get in there, because that's what a narcissistic bitch do. That's what a narcissistic mother do. Y'all will be surprised. Y'all don't know y'all mama done fucked several of you niggas and sucked their dick when they was in motherfucking 10th grade and shit, just to fucking fuck with you. She don't want him. It's not about that. Just so she can dress him and put magic on him, so when he go up in you, he fuck your game up. Because that's what my mother did to my baby daddy. And I seen her, and she would brag, she did that shit to people in one church member. She was fucking my half-sister daddy behind her husband back, who claimed he's so spiritual and shit, and he wasn't nothing but her motherfucking flunky. You said, Drip, I got to give you your flowers. I'm growing from your realness. I'm glad, baby. But I know it took a lot. It took a lot for me. Because all these years I had time to finally just sit down and fix myself and, you know, talk to my child and get things right with my child before I die. You know, oh boy. I was having problems. You said, sorry to happen to you. Courtney, yeah, unfortunately, it's the norm for a lot of us. That didn't just happen to me. I'm not special. Well, it just happened to me. It happens to a lot of people, and it's in different races too. And a lot of people are not in the public, and they have jobs, they have careers. You know, they don't want to talk about it. They don't want people to know. They don't know their business. So I'm telling my business. You can watch those shows on YouTube. I'm not going to release any more of those. Of course I have them. It's the job. It's my job to have them. I own the copyrights and the trademarks to all of them. Nobody does but me. I wrote, direct, and produced them. So why would I not have the copies? Don't ask me to upload that shit, because it's not going to happen. There's plenty of it chopped and screwed on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. You can watch that. And anything that my mother was in, I'm not interested in uploading that shit. That was done for a purpose. That was in a particular time in a cycle, and that cycle's closed. I'm sorry. I'm not even selling it. Yeah, all you gotta do is type my name in. That shit is still hot. They have made me viral. Wake up, bitch, your baby daddy and shit. And you know she wasn't in them episodes. I don't fuck with that hoe no more. That hoe over there. It's easy to find me with the old videos. I don't know what you're wanting. I don't know what episode you're looking for. I own them all. I have them all. I would probably have to convert them anyway, because they're all on small mini VHS tapes, because that was 2006, 2007, 2008. I'm not in that place anymore, but you can easily watch it online. It's not gone. I don't care if they're getting paid on them. Doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter anymore. I'm still not going to have all of them taken down. That's kind of a double-edged sword. You're telling me other people getting paid for them so I can take them down, but then people ask me where they are, and you're asking me to re-upload them, and there are episodes that are already uploaded for people to see. So it's kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't. It doesn't matter to me. I can't go around and fight everybody and go to every site that has them and ask them to take it down. Anyway, I'm going to go now. I need to get something to drink. I hadn't eaten all day, even though I've been fasting. You know, it's really good to do that intermittent fasting. You can eat, and I'm going to drink my green drink. But I've been doing a lot of, you know, fasting and praying. You know, when you've been spiritually attacked, when you're going through things like this, healing, it's also attacks. That is a psychic attack. That's a spiritual attack. When your mother does that and let other people do that, and it's demons involved in the shit. My mother would brag how she cursed me, and how she cursed my half sister, how she cursed my grandmother, and how she had been taught in Africa and said demons walk with her and do whatever she say. I don't know what happened with that, but the last time I seen my mother, she looked really bad, and she was having a lot of mental problems, which we know the bitch was mental ill anyway, and she had gotten diagnosed and was on meds. This bitch is sick, full of demons, and thought it was funny. They must have turned on her because she doesn't have the power, the prestige, the recognition, the church, all of them turned on her and abandoned her. So whatever demon she made pacts with, they must not have wanted to renew it after 30 years of her mayhem and her violence and her disrespect to her own fucking children and her mother, which my grandmother did do shit like that, do some dirty shit to her, but not as extreme as what she did to me and my half sister and my brother, who's no longer here because of the abuse. And those are very difficult things to live through, but I see them differently now so that I could survive. And now I learned to thrive. I was in a place of depression for the whole first part of my life and cried almost every day until I started to study and learn the principles, because that you can't get nowhere like that. Thank you, Music Child. I love you too. So I share these things because, and then another reason, I never wanted anybody to hold anything over me. Well, bitch, I'll tell this, and bitch, you was abused, and I'll tell that, and your brother. No, I told it for you. Now you have no power over me. I don't have anything for anybody to blackmail me with. I don't care if people don't care about it. I don't care if people laugh about it. I'm free. And I know it's a lot of hurt people that have been through more abuse than me and more sexual abuse than me that listen. They're not going to publicly say nothing. I mean, that's okay, because I can feel them. And some of them do tell me. I don't want nobody to know, and I understand that. And I would never tell a story about somebody unless they give me permission, and I just don't use the name. But if you hear me tell a story about somebody, they've given me permission to do it. I'm not betraying them. I'm not mad at them. But it's so many I don't. And so I know they're there. I know they're hiding in secret. They're there and they're listening. And I'm willing to put my life out there. I'm willing to put my personal business from my past, about who I am, where I come from. And I wish I had a better story to tell you all, but I don't. Yeah, but Mickey, I've had bitches laugh at me because they didn't like me. And haha, that's what happened to your brother. That's what happened to you. Ha ha ha, bitch. Okay, had niggas to laugh about it. My ex laughed about it. I told him about it, and they'll say, don't tell somebody you're dating or you can know all your pain because they'll consider you as weak and use it against you. It doesn't bother me. How can you consider me weak when I was a baby? I was a child when that happened to me. How is a child going to defend themselves? You don't know nothing. You don't understand what's going on in your trap because they have physical power and legal jurisdiction over you, whoever your caregivers are. So I've gotten to a point now, it doesn't matter what people think or say. And that's another reason too why I wanted to say this in public, so that nobody could scare me or upset me, or I go into a frenzy, I go cry, I gotta go to a therapist, I need some meds, calm me down. No, it's okay. I learned not to be attached to it and attached to the experience, because I want to use it to help people. I don't want to spend my life a miserable Scrooge. And that's why you see women all wrinkled up and old and having health problems. It has nothing to do with their chronological age. It has to do with their pain, as well as them, not balancing the hormones and taking care of the body, but the pain and feeling like they're worth nothing. And that's the same message and the memory they keep giving to their body and themselves. And the body doesn't know. The subconscious doesn't know right from wrong. It only will do what you say. So if you're really, really self-hating and people have abused you and you think you deserve it because that's all you know, and that's what people did to you, and that's what they said, which they're a piece of shit to even do somebody that's sweet, that's an earth angel, and that's pure, that's been victimized, and they re-victimize because they want power and control over them. If you believe them and you say that to yourself and you constantly feel, and I know you're heartbroken, it is heartbreaking, it is depressing, it's painful, but I don't tell myself that now, I know better. But if you tell yourself that, your subconscious will then send a message to your body to destroy her body. Because she said she don't like it. She said she don't want it. She said it's not valuable. She said nobody ever appreciated it because you attracted the wrong people. Hopefully you were supposed to get your lesson, but you didn't. So now you have committed suicide. You told your brain to shut down and kill you. It doesn't know any better. It's going to do it because it wants to do the right thing by you. And then you see women going through that shit, and then you see women 60, 70 years old are still a shit brick house where young niggas' dicks get hard when they see them because they told their body another message. That's right, Mickey, and that's what I wanted to say too, and that's what I had to learn. Your experiences are not you. That doesn't identify you, that doesn't classify you, that doesn't say you deserve that doesn't say that's what you're born for. That's a totally separate issue, but many times you don't know your purpose. You don't have good people to tell you so, and they tell you that my mother even said that we deserve that abuse. and that the whole world would do that and niggas would do that. And in the past, I met them to do that because that's all I knew. But a part of me didn't like that, and I knew I didn't like that. But then I drove myself into those types of relationships in the past, and now I know. Wait a minute, you not that. That whole personality of being a victim and going along with shit and not setting up boundaries, that's not you. That's a false self. You have to kill that self to become immortal, to become a living God. Because you are a God, a lower God. You do have the power to create your world. You don't like it, destroy your world, and recreate it again based on higher principle. Like I said, it's always about the principality. To this life of nonsense of which we are making sense. But the nonsense does make sense when you decide to make sense of it, because there's a reason. It's always a reason. It's always a season. It's always a purpose. And if you don't know your purpose and start to manifest it, you're fucked. And you keep letting people tell you you're not this, you're not that, and they can know your purpose, but it doesn't benefit them to tell you because they're afraid of you. And they know that if you have no boundaries and restrictions, you don't fuck with them, you're going to rise bigger and better than them because your purpose is bigger and better. And you had no control over that. And they didn't, and it wasn't theirs. So they'll destroy you because it's not theirs. Or try to ride off of you and vampire. It's your responsibility to know. So I'm going to go now. You can donate if you'd like to support what I do. If you want a candle as well, you can do that. I'm getting ready to go and light everything up now. It's not too late. You can donate any day if you want to. It doesn't just have to be right now. It doesn't have to be just today. Any day you feel like it, just email me, ask me first. You said, how does one rebuild themselves from the past? Well, like I was saying, baby, you're probably going to need some help. You have to look at the way you treat yourself, the way you talk to yourself. If you still stuck in them cycles and you want a part of you still want them people in your life, you're not going to be able to completely rebuild because a part of you, that wounded part of you, that wounded little girl, don't want to let them go. So you got to sit with your decision with that. Like I said, you got to sit with yourself every day, examine yourself, go deep with yourself, journal with yourself every day. Start getting educated and learning tools. And a lot of this shit is free on YouTube. You can find people talking about narcissistic mothers, narcissistic fathers, people that are psychiatrists, psychologists, and you need to get your own. You need to get a therapist. If you don't have anybody in your family or anybody around just trying to help you and you have all these issues and you don't want to do the work directly, because see, I do my work every day and I constantly study and I listen. Like I said, this shit is free. Anything you want, you get on YouTube. So for you to say you don't know means you're not actively studying and getting tools to find out who you are, why you are, who your mother is, father, whoever did this to you, because there's a whole bunch of people. It's thousands of people that experience the same shit. And when you find these videos and these people talking about it, they have broken it down and analyzed it, have the education side. A lot of them don't have the real side, but a lot of them do, which drew them into the education side to understand from a psychological perspective and a structured perspective the who, what, when, well, why. And they now balance because they got the fucked up shit done to them. So they live the shit. Now they got the education and the degree to add to the shit. A lot of them are talking on here like that because that shit happened to them. What happened to me? And then you'll see a whole bunch of people commenting, saying the same fucking shit. And I'm like, do these people know my mom and know my dad? Because goddamn, they sat up here and said that shit. And I thought I was the only one that was discarded and trashed and abused. It's a whole bunch of people that have been through that same shit. So if you feel like you don't want to do the work, you not important enough to yourself right now, you not in love with yourself right now to start investing every day and getting off your ass and going to the Dollar Tree and getting a whole bunch of spiral notebooks and a whole bunch of erasable pens and pencils and shit, you need to find a therapist, honey, because this is not going to heal overnight. There is no one answer for you. You're going to have to dig down deep in your ass. And it's going to take years to fix it, depending on how you process that shit and how severe that shit is to you. I don't have no easy answer for you. And you got to decide if you're worth it to make that investment. Because many times your insurance will pay for it, your job will pay for it, or you boss up and get the money to pay for it because it's an investment. If you think you worth that shit, to find you one, and you don't even have to physically go no more. You can talk to them online. You get your meds, they'll call them in, and they approve the shit. You get it right at your motherfucking door discreetly. So at this point in day and age, there's no excuse.
Well, listen here. I think that's a great stopping point. I hope that we all are getting the help that we deserve. Please make sure you like, share, subscribe. And also, if you are the replay gang, thank you so much. If you just come in, please red ball all the way back and get you some of this greatness. Listen here, I'm your host, Queen Tulsa, and this concludes our broadcast. So long.